Hello friends. Today we are going to learn very interesting poem of grade 10th. The name of the poem is The Height of the Ridiculous. Before starting our poem, let me give you some meanings of new words which are included in a poem. As you can see on the screen, words and their meanings are given. The first word is albeit. Albeit, albeit means though or else although. It's a conjunction. Albeit, it's a conjunction, and meaning of it, sometimes it is used as although also, and it is used as a though also. Second word, that is queer. Queer, it's an adjective, and the meaning of queer is unusual. Next word, ridiculous. Ridiculous means too funny to believe. Next word, that is slender, means slim. Next, sober means clear headed or else serious. Wondrous means delightful. Rest means in a helpless condition. So these are some words which I felt I should give their meanings to you before starting the poem. About the poet. The Height of the Ridiculous. This poem is written by Oliver Wendell Holmes. Oliver Wendell Holmes, he was born in 1809 and he died in 1904. He was an American author, poet, physician, and teacher also, who wrote The Guardian Angel. He is known for his humorous writings. His famous compositions include Old Ironsides and the Breakfast Table series. So, Oliver Holmes, he was a man of contrast and contradictions. His life moved back and forth between the reality and imagination. A major part of his life was spent as a doctor and professor at the Howard University, where he used to teach anatomy and physiology. As I had already told you, he was a professor also, teacher also, and he taught in Howard University, and there he used to teach anatomy and physiology. Oliver Holmes was known for his humorous writings and his famous compositions. His famous some compositions, as on the screen you can see, The Guardian Angel and the Breakfast Table series. These are his famous writings, famous compositions. So as far as the poem is concerned, The Height of the Ridiculous, you might have got an idea. This poem is totally written for that entertainment purpose. The poem is a light-hearted poem, and in this poem is like related about some few funny lines which had been written by the poet. So before starting line by line meaning paraphrase of the poem, let me give you brief idea about this poem. The poem The Height of the Ridiculous is a funny poem, as I have already told you. The theme of the poem revolves around an incident of the poet composing a few lines of poetry. So, this poem is related, as I told you, when once poet was trying to write some lines and related those funny lines, this poem is written. When the poet was in a merry mood, means when the poet was in a happy mood, that time he was writing these lines which are included in the poem. And the poem begins on a note of self praise, where the poet compliments himself for composing such fine lines, which he felt those lines are very funny. When he reads himself, the poet could not control his laughter. He started laughing when he read himself whatever lines were written by him. Then he handed that poem to his servant. He called his servant to take it to the printer. But the man, out of curiosity, here the man means the poet, he, out of that curiosity, he read the lines, and gradually his expression transformed from just a grin to a roaring laughter, and eventually he tumbled on the floor laughing. Means when his servant also read those lines which are included in the poem, he also could not control himself. He also started laughing. And the servant was laughing so hard as though he was suffering from the sudden attack of laughter. Means he could not control, as I told you. And in this process of laughter, he even split his shirt buttons open. This madness of laughter went on for about 10 days and nights, throughout which the poet was keenly observing his servant. Since this incident, the poet has firmly resolved never to dare write such a comical lines again. Because for 10 days, you can imagine, friends, for 10 days, literally, his servant was laughing after reading those lines. And then, as he observed, his servant also could not control his laughter. That's why poet decided that he would never try to write such comical lines, such funny lines again. This poem is a humorous take on a simple incident as quoted by the poet and does not consist of any difficult hidden meanings. The main purpose of this poem is to simply entertain audience. Means whoever is going to read this poem, that person will be entertained and that person will laugh. So this was the basic idea, brief idea, what exactly about poem is written. Let's start meaning of the poem, friends. Open the page number 171, 4.4, the height of the ridiculous. So let's start with the meaning. I will read first lines from the poem and then I will give you meaning. First line I am going to start, friends. Open the books, you will understand it. I wrote some lines once on a time in a wondrous merry mood, and thought, as usual, men would say they were exceeding good. Meaning of this first stanza is when the poet was in very good mood, he was very happy, and he was happy, so he wrote a few funny lines. And after writing those lines, according to him, like every time the lines were too good. In his happiness, he thought that whatever lines he wrote, those lines were too good. Next stanza. They were so queer, so very queer. I laughed as I would die, albeit in the general way, a sober man am I. The lines were so strange and funny that the poet himself would die laughing because he wrote such kind of funny lines. He also says that otherwise he is a sober man, he is a serious man, and generally he is in that particular serious mood. He is a sober man, he is a serious man, and clear headed, serious. And when he read his lines, so he couldn't control himself, and he thought the lines were very strange and funny, and he thought that he would die laughing. Such funny lines he wrote. Next stanza. I called my servant and he came. How kind it was of him to mind a slender man like me, he of the mighty limb. The poet calls his servant and further appreciates him by calling him kind. Then he calls himself a slender man. Slender means weak or as slim, and says his servant is strong, that he bears with the poet. Mighty limb means the muscular, like fit and a strong person. So poet here, he calls his servant and he appreciates him. And how he appreciates? He appreciates his servant by calling his servant that servant is very kind. Why he tells that? Because he feels that the poet is quite slender man, quite slim, and servant is strong. Although he is strong, still he bears with the poet. Next stanza. These to the printer I exclaimed, and in my humorous way I added as a trifling jest, there will be the devil to pay. The poet asked his servant to take those lines to the printer and said that in a very humorously, in a very comic mood, funny mood, in that way he said to that servant, these lines should be printed. And he told that the lines are so good that there will be trouble. Next stanza. He took the paper and I watched and saw him peep within. At the first line he read, his face was all upon the green. So the servant peeped into what the poet wrote. The servant tried to read when he was going to the printer, and he peeped in that particular paper, and he tried what that exactly poet has written. And he found it funny and started grinning after reading the first line. As the servant read first line, he started grinning, friends. He started laughing. Here you can imagine how funny lines those are. Next stanza. He read the next. The green grew broad and short from ear to ear. He read the third. A chuckling noise I now began to hear. Meaning, the second line made the green bigger from ear to ear. And when the servant read the third line, he started chuckling. So here, as one by one, that servant watched the paper, he saw like what was written. He read the first line, he started grinning. Then the green grew wider, and when he read the third line, he started chuckling to himself. Getting means he started enthusiastically, like enthusiastic smile. Grinning means what? Grinning from ear to ear means what, friends? Enthusiastic smile. And chuckling means laughing quietly. As many students have habit, when teachers teach, some naughty students, they chuckle in between. They laugh quietly because they don't want to listen. Getting? So in this manner, he started laughing because he was servant and he did not want to hurt his owner, means that poet. So that's why he started chuckling, means quietly he started laughing. Next stanza, friends. The fourth, he broke into a roar. The fifth, his waistband split. The sixth, he burst 5 buttons off and tumbled in a fit. Means, after the servant read the fourth line, he started cackling. He started laughing. Getting? The fifth line was so funny that he split his waistband while laughing. He couldn't control even himself. When he reached to the sixth line, he laughed so hard that he popped 5 buttons of his clothes and could not stop laughing. Means those lines were very funny. As one by one he was reading the lines, he was unable to control his laughter, friends. Next stanza. 10 days and nights with sleepless eye, I watched that wretched man, and since I never dare to write as funny as I can. For about 10 days and nights, according to the poet, the servant did not sleep, and he was continuously laughing. Therefore, the poet, seeing this weary condition of the servant, he decided never to write anything funny again. Means these lines were very funny. The servant was unable to control his laughter, and you can imagine for 10 days continuously he was laughing about those lines. As he used to remember the lines, he used to laugh. He started laughing. So that's why the poet decided not to write such funny lines again. So this was the poem, and this poem is written, as I told you, Oliver Wendell Holmes. I have explained line by line with the meanings as well. So friends, as far as the appreciation of poem is written or is asked in your exam. So in this poem some figures of speech they are used. Figures of speech is like repetition, alliteration, tautology, inversion, hyperbole, transferred epithet. I think such kind of figures of speeches are used in the poem. In some lines, antithesis is also used. So, some important lines and their figures of speech which is used, I am going to tell you. You have to watch this video very carefully, you have to listen very carefully, and you have to write down those lines with their figures of speech in your homework. So let's start with the first line. I wrote some lines once on a time. This is first line, and in this line inversion figure of speech is used. The order of words in the lines has been rearranged for poetic effect. The correct word order should be once on a time I wrote some lines. Once on a time I wrote some lines. This is the correct word order, but for poetic effect, word order has been changed. It has been rearranged. That's why figure of speech is inversion. And the line is I wrote some lines once on a time. Figure of speech inversion. Next line, in a wondrous merry mood. In this line, first figure of speech is used, that is alliteration. Why alliteration? The sound of the letter M has been repeated. Merry and mood. The sound of M, the sound, whenever the sound of any letter is repeated, that is alliteration. One more figure of speech is used in this same line in wondrous merry mood, that is tautology. The words wondrous and merry mean the same thing. Tautology, whenever the same meaning words are used in a same line, that is called tautology. Next line, they were exceeding good. In this line, hyperbole is used. The extent of goodness of the lines composed has been exaggerated to denote the quality of poem which is composed. So they were exceeding good, hyperbole. They were so queer, so very queer. It is very easy, friends. Repetition. The words so and queer have been repeated twice to indicate how funny the poem was. Next line. I laughed as I would die. Here also first figure of speech, that is repetition. The word I is repeated twice, that's why repetition. And hyperbole, the laughter of the poet on reading the poem he had composed, it is exaggerated to denote how funny the poem was. Next line, a sober man am I. Again inversion. As I told you, whenever word order is changed, rearranged, that time that is the inversion. A sober man am I. In this line inversion is used. The order of words in the line has been rearranged for poetic effect, and the correct order should be I am a sober man. Next line, I called my servant and he came. Here alliteration, the sound of the letter C has been repeated to maintain the musical tone of the poem. Next line, to mind a slender man like me, he of the mighty limb. Here alliteration, the sound of the letter M has been repeated. Second figure of speech is used here, antithesis. Why antithesis? Because contrasting ideas of being slender and mighty are placed beside each other in a single line to indicate the humorous nature of the situation. That's why antithesis figure of speech. Next important line, that is, there will be the devil to pay. Here first figure of speech, alliteration, the sound of the syllable the th has been repeated for poetic effect, and metaphor, the poet uses this line to humorously indicate the servant that he better follow his master's order, else he will get himself in a big trouble. That is metaphor. Next line, and saw him peep within. Tautology, the words saw and peep mean, their meaning is same, that's why tautology. Next line, at the first line he read his face. Here alliteration, the sound of the letter H has been repeated. The green grew broad. Again alliteration, the sound of the syllable gr, green grew gr has been repeated. Next, and short from year to year, repetition, the word year has been used twice, that's why repetition. He read the third, a chuckling sound. Here onomatopoeia, the sound of the laughter, that is chuckling, made by the servant on reading the poem, it is said. I now began to hear. One more example of inversion. The order of the words like in this line has been rearranged for poetic effect, and correct order should be like I began to hear now. Next line, the fifth, his waistband split. Hyperbole, the laughter of the servant upon like after reading the poem, it has been focused, exaggerated for poetic effect by stating that his waistband had split due to laughter. The sixth, he burst 5 buttons and tumbled in a fit. First figure of speech, that is alliteration, the sound of the letter F has been repeated. And second, hyperbole, same, the laughter of the servant after reading this poem, it has been focused. And here he wanted to show that due to that laughter, his like effect of that laughter, the servant tumbled in a fit of laughter. 10 days and nights with sleepless eye, figure of speech, antithesis, two opposite words day and night are mentioned in the same line. Again hyperbole, also the effect of laughter, as I had already told you, it has been exaggerated. Here transferred epithet also it is used, the adjective sleepless has been transferred from the poet to his eye. Next line, I watched that raised man. Alliteration, the sound of the letter W has been repeated. As funny as I can. Here simile, there is a direct comparison between the poem already composed by the poet to the extent of funny poems the poet can compose in the future. Simile, as funny as we can easily identify. And second figure of speech is used, that is repetition, the word as has been used twice, repeated twice, to indicate that henceforth the poet would never compose such funny lines. So this was the information about figures of speech which are used in this poem, friends. If you have any doubts, you can mention in the comments, or else you can ask your doubts in our WhatsApp group. Meanwhile, stay home, stay safe. Thank you.